Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today's yoga practice is a full body stretch for flexibility. So I am going to use a couple props today. I've got a strap to make my arms longer and then a pillow of some sort. A little bit of space to move, of course, and let's get started. All right, we will begin today laying down. You can have your straps off to the side. And if you're going to lay on top of something, you can set that up too. So if you're coming into a bit of a back bend here, laying on a pillow or something else, let's scooch our feet a little bit closer towards our hips once you are laying down. And you might even be able to give the knees a sway, just side to side if that feels okay on the low back. And then if you bring your feet closer together, can your knees fall out wide? Just optional, of course. Maybe you can get into your hips while we are here. Once you are happy with where your legs are, you can bring your arms out to the sides. Maybe feeling your shoulders, your chest, depending on what you're laying on. But close your eyes and notice the next breath that you take. Giving yourself permission to slow down. Let go of your day. As we begin to move, you might start to wiggle your toes and bring your knees back together if you did tip them out to the side and just planting your feet on the ground again. Maybe a gentle sway of the knees side to side feels good. You can also bring your arms in closer to your sides as well. If you're laying on top of something, we can sit up and take it out. You can slide it off to the side and just come back down and lay flat. Maybe hug your knees into your chest. Maybe sway side to side a few more times, massaging your back against the ground. Just checking in with how you are feeling so far today. And we're going to be coming all the way up to tabletop, to our hands and knees. You can roll over or rock yourself forwards, but meet me in tabletop. Once you're there, you could give your hips a few sways side to side, maybe even the shoulders too. Now we're going to be doing a few things, but since I have a pillow to use today, it is a big pillow. It doesn't have to be a big pillow. I am going to rest my knee on it though while we are lunging. And I want you to have your strap close by as well, just in case you want to use the strap to make your arms longer. So a cushion of some sort, maybe just rolling your mat over, maybe having nothing at all underneath your knee. We'll make our way into a lunge with our right foot forwards to begin. And sinking into the left hip flexor. Now the strap's close by just in case, so you don't have to leave your lunge to grab it. But give your hips a chance to sink forwards and sink down. You might feel a little different here. Maybe a much deeper hip flexor stretch if you've got your knee on a very chunky pillow. So if you decide that it's for you, great. And if it's not, you don't have to have anything underneath your knee. Now our strap is just to make our arms longer today. You can skip the quad stretches if you want to leave your back foot on the ground, or we can start to lift that foot up. And we will be reaching for that foot with our right hand, maybe using the strap to hook around the foot to make our arm longer so that you can hug your heel towards your glute and still allow the hips to sink forwards and sink down. And our chest and our knee are nice and close together. We are going to be moving our feet or our front leg a few times, and maybe that back foot up and down. So if you did lift it, you can bring it down. And then we're going to heel toe our right foot, our front foot, over to the right side of the mat. So the knees just out to the side. We're still sinking into our hips. Your hands are on the inside of your foot. Option to lift the back foot up again or to keep it down. Use your strap if you need to make your arm longer. And instead of turning your chest and opening it up to the right, maybe we can keep our chest looking down, facing down, as we bring that heel towards the glute. Nice work, you guys. If you have your foot lifted, you're letting it go down nice and gracefully again. And this is where it might get a little bit weird. We're going to heel toe our right foot all the way over to the left side. Now we're going to lay down our shin and come into pigeon. But if you have a pillow, a nice big chunky pillow underneath your knee, just pull it up a bit. So it's not quite under the knee, but it's underneath your quad and maybe the right glute a little bit. Or maybe just that left quad. So it's kind of propping us forwards a bit. You don't have to have anything underneath your hips or your leg. But if we can lean forwards, we'll be leaning forwards. And again, if you're new to having a nice big chunky pillow underneath you for these lunges and these hip openers, it can be so nice if you just give it a chance. The last time to let that left foot lift. Might be a lot further away, leaning forwards. But if you can reach for your foot and continue to lean forwards, do that. Use your strap to make your arm longer. Maybe even let your chest get heavier. You might lean all the way down. Rest your forehead. And if you do have that back foot lifted, As gracefully as you're able, you can let it come down. You've got a nice big pillow underneath your hips. You can take it out. I don't know the best way to slide it out. There we go. And we'll be meeting in tabletop. Shake it out, your hips. Sway side to side. And those are some nice deep stretches that we're doing today. So if you're feeling a lot, great. But just go as far as you need to go today. No need to push anything. If you're going to be adding a cushion of some sort under the right knee, you can grab that. Bring your left foot forwards. Set up a nice lunge with your foot in the middle of your mat. Sinking your hips forwards and down. And then maybe we'll be lifting the back foot and reaching for it with our left hand, maybe the strap, and then keeping the chest forwards, down slightly, but the knee and the chest nice and snug together. And if you do have the back foot lifted, first chance to gracefully place it back down. And we can heel toe our foot over to the left. Leaning forward still, sinking into the hips. And maybe we're lifting our back foot up again and reaching that left hand for it. And the chest might want to open up to the left, but what happens when you turn back down? Awesome work, you guys. Letting your foot come to the ground, nice and gentle. And then we can heel toe our foot all the way over to the right. And as you lay down your shin, maybe you will move your pillow up a little bit. Maybe you're not using any sort of prop. Just make sure you're happy with where it is. There we go. Leaning forwards as much as you'd like. If you are on top of a big pillow, it kind of encourages you to lean forwards more. So you can melt it down, maybe to your forearms, maybe a little bit further than that. But if your foot's going to be lifting and your left hand's going to be reaching for it, use the strap if you need. And then maybe lay down somewhere. Get that nice quad stretch, that nice hip stretch. And you might even be lucky enough to feel your shoulder. So should you have the back foot lifted that one final time, you can let it go. Lifting back up, sliding your pillow out. And we can meet in tabletop again. And you might just take a second to compare your right leg with your left one. Maybe swaying through your hips. And just in case you haven't felt enough through your shoulders so far, we're going to do one final shoulder opener, puppy dog. And since I've got my pillow to use today, I'm going to rest my elbows on it. But you can reach both of your arms forwards and on the ground with your hands. I'm going to place my elbows on my pillow. Your elbows could also be on the ground. We can bring our palms together, pointing the fingers up and then letting the chest melt down. So let your elbows be forwards in front of your shoulders. And if you can rest your forehead on the ground, or maybe it's your chest, your chin. Maybe your forehead rests on your pillow, if that's where your elbows are. Just allow gravity to pull your chest down. Stay for another breath. And using an inhale to lift, nice and slow. If that was a really deep shoulder opener, move nice and slow. Come back onto your hands, back to tabletop, or you could sit on the heels. Take all of the weight out of your arms. Maybe add a few shoulder rolls. And you can sit with your legs in front of you. And maybe give your knees a hug or a squeeze. We'll be laying down on our backs. Nice and flat. You might hug your knees into your chest. A little press of your low back down. And maybe reaching for your feet for happy baby and one final hip opener. If you are holding on to your feet, you can start to let them go. You can bring them all the way down to the ground, or maybe your pillow just happens to be there to rest your legs on. But place your arms somewhere comfortable too. Make any adjustments that you need so that you're really comfortable. So you can settle into Shavasana. And as always, I encourage you to stay here for as long as you have time for today. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, namaste.